Okay, so we're in Act 2 in Defiance Bay. So we're going to do some groundwork and some footwork, collecting a few items. First one is in the inn. We'll also rest while we're here. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to break down all the quests start to finish so they can be easily referenced. So I'm going to rest to get mechanics, because it's going to help us with one of the summoned items. Now the first item that's really useful in a couple of quests from now is actually in this locked chest here. So that's the Bartender's ring. The 20% damage to spirits might be useful a bit later, but majority of it's going to be for the vessels, the armaments, and around the shore of the harbour vessels, as well as all the undead in Heritage Hill. So that item will be very useful, and it's extremely easy to get. So while we're here, we're going to pick up a few stat foods, because you'll find that every fight you'll need to use most your summons, as well as it's always handy to have the whole package of foods as well. Okay. First stop at the auditorium. And this is one of the summons I was talking about. Summons 3 little spiders, but they do a decent dot as well. I'm just going to enter all the zones so it's easier to travel later. But we're going to first fires first. The transition from Act 1 to 2, it's good because you get at least 2 levels on fairly easy quests, and then you can respec, or I like to respec into a more crit build, and start using some of the two-handed weapons. So our second summon's actually in the embassy. So when I respect after the Phantom fight in the Stronghold, I put most of the points into mechanics. You need a minimum of, I believe, 7 to open this chest, and you use up a few lockpicks, but it's actually quite worth it. Here they are. Yeah, so the minimum is 7, and that's with the resting bonus as well. And there's the other summoned item. Those two single-handedly will make most of the encounters relatively easy. We'll head back to Copper Lane. So another thing for the first couple of levels before we upgrade this healing weapon is I like to enchant it with Kith as well, since the majority of the fights are going to be against humans, and get a bit of extra damage and hit chance. Alright, so that weapon's pretty much capped out, and that will what we'll use for the next couple of levels before we upgrade to the pikes. And that will be all the things you need to gather before you can start getting into Act 2. Some food, some summons, enchant your weapon, and get the Bartender's ring.